Good guy, that Mike Garafolo. He's still hanging out in the beach house. He is our good friend Mike Garafolo from the National Football League Network. And Mike, your Philadelphia Eagles, very eventful week one, and for Jalen Carter, especially eventful, though in the end, pretty good situation for him. He was suspended for a game, but the NFL says, you know what, you served your suspension already. You didn't play it down last week, so we'll consider it done. Are you surprised, though, Mike, at the decision by the league to not suspend Carter further?
No, I did not think he was going to be suspended further, Jay. And we did mention that it was notable that he got fined before even, or got ejected, before even playing a snap. So I did expect the fine. I did not expect a further suspension. But that being said, when we got the announcement from the league today, it said Jalen Carter suspended for one game. Now, thankfully, I took the time to read the entire release that we got, because I thought, if I just tweeted out that he got suspended for, people would think he got suspended for the next game. But there's a reason why they put that headline the way that they did on that press release, because they want people to know this is a suspension. It's not a fine. And if he had spit on Dak Prescott on the last play of the game, he would have been suspended another game. This is a marked change for the NFL, because previously players had only been fined for spitting on one another. In this case, the NFL making it clear, we are emphasizing sportsmanship. They're emphasizing hygiene, Jay, and I'm okay with that because I wouldn't want to be spit on. So this is a marked change from the NFL, saying that if you do this now as a player during the course of a game, a suspension is going to be in play. Now, people have said, well, what happens if it's after the first snap of the game, or if it's after the first drive of the game, or the first there's a tipping point at some point for the NFL here, in which they say, well, you played enough of that game that you're now going to be suspended for this next game. But the point is, they are making it clear to the next person, we were sort of lenient on this one, we're not going to be on the next one. So look for this to be something that, if it happens again, results in a suspension.
Mike, I know, it's very divisive times, and there's a lot of trouble in the world, but I think we can all agree that putting an emphasis on hygiene is something that's very important. So I appreciate the fact that you brought that up.
More people should, Jay.
All right, for the San Francisco 49ers, a very positive week one. They beat their NFC West rival, the Seattle Seahawks. That's the good news. Bad news, a litany of injuries, Mike Garafolo. As we know, we alluded to one. Tell us what's going on in San Francisco injury-wise right now.
It's not a 49ers season if they're not dealing with injuries. George Kittle, now our Ian Rappaport had reported that hamstring injury was going to knock him out 3 to 5 weeks. So not a surprise he goes on injured reserve, which means a minimum of 4 weeks. They're hopeful, the Niners are, that he'll be ready to come back when he's eligible to return after those 4 weeks and no longer. But then you've got Brock Purdy as well, now dealing with a toe injury out of that game the other day, Jay. If it's not him, it'll be Mac Jones. So we're going to have to watch Purdy's status throughout the week to see if he can get himself through practice and get himself ready to play. I guess the good news is the defense for the 49ers, with Robert Saleh back as the defensive coordinator, played well the other day. Now, they've got a lot of young guys, a lot of rookies, either starting or rotating in. And I remember when I was there for training camp, I was talking to folks about that. They said, the good news is 4 of our first 6 games are on the road. And I said, how's that good news? Isn't that bad news? They go, no, that's good for rookies on defense, because when you're on the road, it's quiet when you're playing defense. We need these guys to learn how to communicate. So they got the chance to do that. They're going to get a chance with 3 more road games, including in the Dome where it's loud against the Saints. So they really feel like this defense is going to have to be what's carrying them, especially with how banged up they are on offense. And certainly that'll help them throughout the latter part of the season, potentially into the playoffs, to know that they can rely on a lot of these young guys, Jay.
You were working this past Sunday. You did a game in New Jersey, the Jets, the Steelers. It was sort of the de facto quarterback swap game. You had Aaron Rodgers now with the Steelers, Justin Fields now with the Jets. Now, Rodgers and the Steelers prevailed, but Mike, could you make an argument that for both offenses they could take some positives away from last Sunday?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, the Jets, you want to win the game. But for not winning the game, they feel as good as they possibly could, because Justin Fields looked fantastic. And they were telling me before the game, the coaches that I spoke to, that the last couple of weeks of practice, he had really come on. And a lot of those are closed to the media. So we didn't necessarily hear about how well he was performing in practice. And they said, not just as a runner, but his ability to throw the football, and we saw that. He looked fantastic. I think it also helped that their offensive line played well. They feel really good about those young guys that they have on the offensive line. So the Jets feel great about that. As for the Steelers, the fact that we saw that Aaron Rodgers still has some left in the tank. We saw it late in the season with the Jets. He had some good games late in the season, including 4 touchdowns in that last game. So he's thrown 4 touchdowns in each of the past 2 games he's played. 1 for the Jets, 1 against the Jets. So I know the Steelers feel good about where Rodgers was from his ability to play and ability to show that he's got football left in game 1. They do, you played the clip, they do want to get back to running the football a little bit more. That's a little bit more of Steelers football. So I'd expect that to be introduced, but a great start for both of these offenses.
But was there anything more exciting, Mike, than the video you captured before the game, which really captivated the entire continent? The man caught on top of the flag.
I still have no idea how this happened. We didn't see it until the flag was unfurled, and he was kind of in the middle there. I assume maybe he got caught underneath and came up because there's little gaps in the flag. But the next thing you know, he is on the flag and crawling across it. And I guess some people are like, is this not patriotic? What are you going to do? You don't have a choice. You're stuck in the middle of the flag. You got to get off the flag. You got to make an effort to do that. So that's how that happened. Would love to know the origin of the story and how he landed there. But at the very least, get yourself some video and some engagement on social media, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for you, buddy. I'm so proud of you for capturing that kind of attention for that kind of thing. Mike, you were great. We'll chat with you next week, and don't work too hard on Good Morning Football this week, okay?
I promise you I will not. If you are, it's like a golf swing, right? If you're swinging too hard, you're doing it all wrong.
That's exactly it. You got to have rhythm.